In this video, I'm going to set the static IP address to the Rocky Linux because recently I have installed this Rocky Linux. So I'm going to set the static IP address to this second interface, that is the host interface, because the first interface automatically get the IP address from your DHCP address in VirtualBox environment. But I'm going to set the static IP to the second interface. And few more things we are going to cover, like I'm going to install this guest addition so that you can get the full screen. And apart from that, I'll show you like how to access this machine from the remote, like using putty or something. Okay, so I already started this machine. You can see I already allocated like 2 CPUs and 8 GB of memory. Okay, so let me access this machine in the console. So you should click on this command prompt, this one, terminal. Okay, so now you can log into the root first. So before that, you need to execute this command sudo issue hyphen. It will ask for your username login. Then you can pass this one. Then it should log into this root prompt. First thing is that you need to create one password for the root. You can use this command passwd, then root. Then it will ask for like 2 times the password for this root. Once you set this password, then you can exit from here. We can directly SSH to this machine using root from the same machine. It will ask for the root password. Now we can set the root, pass the root password. So now it is landed in this prompt. Okay, so I'll show you like how to assign the static IP address. Okay, if you will see the previous video, I'll show that time I shown like the second interface have like a blank IP address. Okay, so there is no IP address assigned to this second interface. Like if you put, but I already assigned the IP address, so that's why it will show. But I will show you the procedure how to set the IP address to the second interface. Here you can see last time we showed we observed like this interface have the IP address like internet IP address, okay, from the DHCP. But this interface, the second interface, that is the host only, have like blank IP address. Okay, I mean nothing is attached to that interface. So that time I'll show you like how to set this IP address. So I already documented those things, so you can refer that one. Here you have like I already saved to some file. Yeah, this file. Yeah, you can see how to set the IP address. First thing is that you need to check the connection name using basically nmcli, network manager command line interface. So here I'll show you. Yeah, first thing is that you can check the interface name. I mean the same interface will come. Okay, connection. So that time you can pick this interface. Okay, so if you check my history, you need to execute this command nmcli connection modify, then your interface name, that is enps08, and this parameter you need to pass. Okay, this one is the important one. First thing is that we need to pass the parameter, like I am going to assign it as IPv4 address, that is IPv4 method equal to not equal, but pass the parameter manual. Then another parameter is that IPv4 address, then you need to pass this address. But one more important thing is that when you are assigning the address, you need to pick the address of your host only, I mean the VirtualBox host only interface range. Okay, so in my case it is 192.168.56. Then I assign IP address like 201 whatever you want. Okay, and the important thing is that you need to mask this up to 24. Okay, /24. Otherwise, if you leave that like /24, it will by default take the /32. All the octant should be like um, I mean it is like masked. Okay, so that time you cannot ping to this IP address. Okay, so you should put like /24. Okay, so once you set this IP address, then you need to execute this command nmcli connection off, then your interface, that is your second interface, whatever is it is showing like nmcli connection show. Then once you set this one, then automatically it will show you like this way. One IP address should be assigned to your second interface. Okay, so this is the way how to set the static IP address. If you want to access this machine root user from outside, then you need to edit some of the SSH file, etc. sshd.config file. Here you need to update this one line already there, then you need to copy that line and put this PermitRootLogin as yes. You need to change this thing, need to be changed to yes. Okay, once you change this one, then yeah, once you change this file, then you can restart this SSH service using systemctl restart sshd.service. Okay, then you are able to access from the root, I mean outside, from remotely basically. Then third thing is that how to install the guest addition. You can see right now in the previous video when I installed, that time half window is coming. Okay, but now you can see the full screen is coming. Okay, so due to this one only guest addition. Okay, so first thing is that you need to attach this ISO file from this menu. One disk symbol is there in the below. Okay, so you should that time it will show you like VBoxGuestAddition something, then you should attach, click on attach. Okay, once you clicked on attach, then you can come to the command prompt. Okay, so you need to come to command prompt. Here you can put like the disk ISO file should be attached to some directory, like it is mounted. Okay, so df-h, you can see in my case it is mounted on this directory, automatically it should mounted. Okay, /run media, your username, then VirtualBox, whatever the version is there. Okay, then you should go to that directory, run media, your username, then VirtualBox, then check all the files, executable files are there. So for our case, since it's a Linux one, so we can execute this one, VBoxLinuxAddition.run. But this file needs some of the kernel files, kernel packages. Okay, so we need to install that kernel package. I'll show you like how to install that kernel package. Yeah, so this needs this kernel package. First you need to install this dnf group install. This is the kernel development tools. Okay, so first you need to install this packages, then you need to run this file. Okay, so that binary file is available under this VirtualBox directory, VBoxLinuxAddition.run. Before that you need to install the necessary package, otherwise this script should not work. Okay, it will fail. Yeah, this is the once you install this one, you need to reboot your machine to take this effect. Then you need to come to this view and adjust to window size. Okay, it will come to full screen window. Okay, so this is the one thing. And for the remote access, SSH access, even you set the IP address and root password, I mean the root password and the root account is active, but you cannot access because of this firewall. Okay, so you need to check the status. In my case, I already disabled this because this is lab environment, so it's not production one. You can see I already disabled this one. Okay, by default is enabled. You need to disable and check the status. Okay, so once everything is set, then you can remotely log into this machine. First pick the IP address. You can see the static IP address, that is 201. So let me try empty putty from my host machine. So you can create one server IP address here, then double click on that one. Now you can see it is asked for the root password. So now we able to see, log into this machine. I'll show you. Where is that screen? Okay, I think I want to increase the font size. Next, okay, I'll check that later. So if you check this IP address here, you can see 201 is there. Okay, so if you want to log in from this, directly from this console, it's fine. Otherwise you can log in from your host, like SSH client putty or mputty, like that. Yes, so anything left? Yeah, one more thing is that by default on the Docker, we no need to, if you plan for the Kubernetes installation. So first thing is that you need to install the runtime, that is Docker. Okay, but in this case, I think the Podman is already available. If you check Podman version or something, FNV, yeah, so the Podman is already available. Okay, we no need to install the Podman. Suppose you want to get some hands-on on this Podman or container, you can directly execute this command. Okay, so I'll cover this Podman in another video. Okay, I think that's it for this basic setup, like how to set the static IP and how to add the guest addition. And one more thing I can show you, it is work like Fedora. Okay, so you can access this GUI console using this port number 9090. Okay, so first pick the static IP address, then go to your browser, http:// then 9090. You can see here it will show you like it is available on this, basically the web console. You can access, manage all these things from here. So now it asks for the username. You can put user1. I think they disabled this root login access, so you can use the user1. And here you can get all the details like 2 CPUs and 8 gig of memory and the host name. Everything you can get from here. The Podman containers, if anything is created, you can create the Podman container from here also. Okay, so that's all about the basic setup.